Hey everybody, I am David, and today I'm going to be talking about the DC TV shows. This is going to be my little recap for the week. Every Thursday I'm going to be doing this. I started last week, and this is my second episode, I guess, for this, if you want to call it an episode. And so we are going to talk about Gotham, Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow. And we'll talk about the pilot episode for Powerless today. I just finished watching it. That's why this video is a little bit late. If I didn't have to watch Powerless, which next week I won't, I'll tell you why when I get there. I'll have these videos up a little bit more earlier. So let's get into these episodes of this week of the DC TV shows. Let us start with Gotham. Gotham was titled The Gentle Art of Making Enemies, Season 3, Episode 14. I am going to say that I thought this was a really creepy episode. Jerome is just such a great character that he's just so... The actor is just so enjoyable to watch in this role, like the actor who plays Jerome. And seeing Bruce go up against Jerome was really cool because it really foreshadowed the Batman and Joker's rivalry for years to come down the road. And I like that Bruce actually made his little code of honor in this episode. It was a really chilling, freaky episode. And that's what happens when you do the Joker right. You get these chilling moments that you don't know what to expect from this guy. One of the creepiest moments was when Gordon was like punching him at the end and his face flew off, and I'm glad Harvey Bullock he made that joke. Hey, you always wanted to punch someone's face off, now you did. So that was a little funny, and obviously there was a big twist here too. Edward finally confronted Penguin, and it looks like Penguin, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Gotham yet, Penguin might be dead. Whoa. That was a little twist that I didn't see coming, and I'm wondering if Penguin will survive this, or, we have seen people come back from the dead recently on this show. Will somebody bring Penguin back to life? Will he get, like, some sort of powers or something? I have no idea. But that was a nice little twist that I didn't see coming there at the end. But the best stuff was definitely with Jerome and Bruce. I really love the character of Bruce Wayne and Alfred. And Gordon. I like a lot of the characters on this show. I really love what they're doing with Barbara this season. Again, I don't want to go too much into the season as a whole, but just little thoughts. This was a really good episode. Next, we have Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 10, We Can Be Heroes. I'm going to admit this. The episode was fine. But I am not a huge fan of the character of Livewire. I think Livewire is an annoying character in general. Even in Superman the Animated Series, I never cared much for that character. So, there we go. We did get some Mon-El and Kara shipping going on in this episode, and Jimmy's secret is now finally revealed, even though I don't feel that... I like the character of Jimmy in this show, but he doesn't feel like Jimmy Olsen to me. We haven't even seen him use a camera that much in this show. I think we only seen like 2 or 3 episodes with him with a camera taking pictures. And then he became the boss of Catco, and he's not even working there. He's becoming a superhero now. I think what the show did, I think they realized they made a mistake by making this Jimmy Olsen. What they should have did was make him John Henry Irons and have him become Steel, who actually is a Superman character also. So I think they shot themselves in the foot for that. I think they didn't realize Jimmy wasn't really the real Jimmy Olsen wasn't really gonna work in this show. He never really felt like Jimmy Olsen to me. So, and just before anybody calls me out, I want to make sure I clarify that this is not a race issue. I don't care that Jimmy is African American in the show, because I was explaining this to my brother as well. Perry White is played by an African American in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, played by Lawrence Fishburne. And I think Lawrence Fishburne is a great Perry White. In previous adaptations of the character, he was always played by a white male. But in the newer Superman movies, with Henry Cavill, he is played by Lawrence Fishburne, and I think he's great. I feel like he is Perry White, what I envision Perry White to be. Lawrence Fishburne brings that out perfectly. I don't feel this is Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen to me is the geeky kid who takes pictures, and I'm not saying they have to go like make him all out geeky and stuff and having him trip and wear a bow tie, and golly, Kara, what are we gonna do? That's clearly Wynn's job, but Wynn feels more like what Jimmy Olsen should have been to me, like the computer nerd who's maybe helping in hacking and stuff like that. That's what I would have made Jimmy Olsen for this show, Wynn, the character of Wynn. But for whatever reason, they decided to make Jimmy super confident and really cool, and now he wants to fight crime. I don't know, that doesn't feel like Jimmy to me. So moving on before I get distracted and talk too much about this subject. I'll probably talk about that again at the end of the season. Next, we got The Flash, Season 3, Episode 11, Dead or Alive. I went through a whole review of this. I will say, so I won't go too much into detail. I will say that this episode was really fun. It was written by Zach Stentz, who has written already 2 other episodes. He said this is going to be his last episode, which I was kind of sad to hear. I wanted to see what else he could do. But I do feel that this was his best episode that he's written so far. I did love the fight between Gypsy and Cisco. And yeah, H.R. Wells is a great character. I'm glad he's sticking around. But Barry, man, you're going to have to figure out something to change the future from happening, because so far you haven't really changed too much. So we'll see what happens. But yes, the best part of this episode was definitely the fight between Gypsy and Cisco when they were traveling. Even though it was very brief, when they were traveling through other worlds and they happened to stumble into Kara's world, which was really nice. And seeing Miss Tessmacher there, who's hardly been used on Supergirl. So it was nice to see that. Next, we have Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 10, The Legion of Doom. And this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. We got a really good team dynamic from the villains. Malcolm and Damien Dark were kind of goofy in the last episode. So I was kind of like thinking, this doesn't feel like Damien Dark or Malcolm Merlyn to me. It feels like they're being like disrespected from who those characters really are. And then this episode shows us, no, don't worry guys, that was just a fun episode last week. We were just having a little fun showing our love to George Lucas. This week we're gonna show you who these villains really are, the villains that you know and love from both Arrow and Flash. This villain dynamic was really cool, and having that brief appearance of Zoom, having the villains try to take care of Zoom was really good. And I like that they're not trusting each other at first. That's what I really liked, and that's what you'd expect from villains, because whenever villains team up, they're always worse at teamwork than the heroes are. But then what happens is that they were able to put aside their differences after to defeat Zoom together, the 3 of them, which I thought was really good. And I like the chemistry already between those 3 villains. I think Malcolm, Damien Dark, and Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, I think they're going to be a great dynamic. I was going to say duo, but they're going to be a good threesome. That sounded so wrong. But yeah, I really liked all that stuff that was going on with the villains, definitely. And the whole episode was actually a really good episode. So I like that the heroes were finally figuring out who the speedster is. Although they should have asked Barry when they were in the Invasion crossover, hey Barry, do you know any speedsters that might be running around? I think he would have remembered Eobard Thawne. Oh yeah, you know what? Something did happen with Eobard. Maybe he is still alive, causing you guys trouble. So that's my only one little nitpick from this episode. But other than that, even Stein's daughter, it was really nice to get that out in the open, that she was an aberration and she had to deal with that and be mad at her father for that, and rightfully so. We also have Arrow, Season 5, Episode 11, Second Chances. And in this episode, we get a new Black Canary, which this episode I also went more in depth to. So to keep it short, I will say it was a really good episode. I'm still not too sure how I feel about this new Dinah Drake, but I do feel she's only a temporary placement for the Black Canary that we really want to see come back, Laurel Lance. I think they're just making us think they're replacing her. I think they have Black Siren in a prison for a reason, because I think they are saving that character until the time is right to bring that version of Black Canary in. I really do think they are going to redeem Black Siren in some way and have her rename herself the Black Canary, and it will allow Katie Cassidy to return to the show. I don't believe that this is, because this is hard for me to swallow, for someone else to come in. And then the real big punch in the gut, and I know there's fans out there that are really pissed off about this. I'm not pissed off. I'm okay with it. If this does become our permanent Black Canary, I'm okay with it. But the punch in the gut was when they named her Dinah also. Oh, was it fate, or is this the writers trying to replace her with a new Dinah because they felt they really screwed up with Laurel? It's funny because I do feel Laurel gotten better after the series, after they killed her. I thought they really made her character much better before they killed her, and around season 3, 4-ish. Specifically 4. I think season 4 was the best we've seen Laurel be as Black Canary. And so we'll see how this new Black Canary goes. I don't think it's permanent, so that's about it. So those are the DC TV shows, and oh wait, one more. Powerless. How am I gonna put this, guys? The pilot aired tonight, and I wasn't impressed. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Alan Tudyk was in it, and he's great. He's funny. Not in this show, though. The jokes fell flat for me. I'm still gonna give the show a chance, maybe, but I didn't even feel. I felt like, man, I should have did my DC TV recap and screw this show, because I don't feel it's worth talking about. I probably only laughed twice in the entire episode, and it was supposed to be funny. They're telling these jokes, but these jokes are just, I don't know. The show didn't hook me. It maybe hooked other people, and if that's the case, awesome. But for me personally, I just didn't buy it. I felt like they were even using Bruce's namesake just so, hey guys, this guy's related to Bruce Wayne. I just didn't feel it. That's just me. Again, if you guys liked it, let me know. Tell me, what jokes did you like from that entire episode? Because for me, there were 2 and they're already forgotten. And with that being said, guys, I'm ending this video here. I'll be back next time. My video will be up earlier next time because I don't think I'm going to review Powerless. Unless it starts getting better, then maybe I'll reconsider it. But for now, I'm avoiding that one. But I will be talking about all the other DC TV shows that I discussed already today. So Gotham was its winter finale, so it's going to be gone for a while. But we still got these CW TV shows, so no fret. See you next week.